Hey everybody, welcome back to post-commentary editions of Saga Frontier. We are doing the rest of Blue's quest today. Now that we've finished defeating his brother and becoming both him and his brother, we can now travel back to the Magic Kingdom, back to Disneyland, but yeah, there's something preventing us from going there. So for the moment, I didn't have an idea of how the hell I was supposed to get there. Now, what I didn't know, and the game doesn't tell you this, obviously, is that there's an item that Blue specifically has in his items. That is, in fact, a world map, which takes you to that weird select your destination screen that we've seen like twice in his whole thing. And I just started thinking about it now. I'm like, wait, he's got this weird gate thing, right? It's something we've done before, albeit the game did it for us, but if he has it as an ability, probably a way to activate it manually. And region map. There we go. If I had known about this, or if I had been able to figure this out earlier, it would have only saved a fraction of the time. But here we go, back to the Magic Kingdom. The happiest place on Earth. Oh God, it's all destroyed. And we'll just kind of skip over that battle. It was a random enemy. So, one of the things I set up here was we've got the tower card, because now we have all magic. Since we beat Rouge, we have his magic as well. And I started thinking about it, because Overdrive gives you infinite magic for about 6 or 7 turns. I actually tested out that tower card, which takes all of your magic to use, and it did well over 10,000 damage. So I figured that would be my secret weapon. I'm just gonna say it right now, it didn't work out that way. When put to practice, it did a competitive amount of damage to the type of damage that Vermilion Sand or Mega Wind Blast does. So it really didn't change anything. But for a little while I was rubbing my hands together and I was like, yes, yes, I could annihilate anything. But the game intentionally nerfs those attacks during those boss fights, so that you can't use it quite like that. Also, it's really hard to know where to go around here, because figuring out what you can and can't climb on, what constitutes a split path, like, is just hard to do. Like that little blue trail right there, you can assume, yeah, you can climb down that. But did you know that climbing down here, there's like a separate path that you can take than the one I'm taking right now? I didn't. Also, yeah. Those enemies were normal. This guy, he was a bit more of a pain in the ass the first time I fought him. I accidentally ended up I think he actually... Something bad happened. Can't remember exactly what it was. I think I might have died somehow. Because I didn't take this guy seriously enough. And so, second time around, I went fucking all out on him. To not give him nearly as much of a chance to pull the shit he pulled last time. Also, I figured he was standing in something, in front of something important for advancing. A's not. He also died really quick. I honestly do forget why I thought why. But I had to like soft reset in between a fade in, fade out there. Oh no, wait, here was the problem. You have to activate these, and that was the problem. You have to activate these in the right order, or else you get in unnecessary fights. Fights that are a little bit more than, like nothing fights with nothing enemies. But they're less than boss fights, so I ended up having to use some of my weapons points and stuff to fight them, which I'm trying to conserve until I get to the boss. Also, I'm looking for other paths out of here, not realizing I can actually just go down, I believe? Oh, can I not actually go down? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. This is when I had to start looking for separate, not obvious paths. Like this one here. With a statue of two anime angels floating away. And here we have these people. They're probably dead, they won't talk to me. So up there is the obvious path forward, but every time you try to go that way, the guy just stops you and says seal's broken, and he won't let you go any further. Everybody who's not dead is just repeating seal's broken, so they might as well be dead. That guy might as well have been moved over about 2 inches so that he would be directly in my path. Or rather, just a couple of pixels or something like that. So I'm wandering around and I'm like, the hell do I even go here, man? Then I find this room and I'm like, this seems like it's important. And it turns out there's something that you have to read on the back here. Obviously, you know, of course you would know to do that. That's just randomly guessing and rubbing my face and cry against everything. I think I did a cut here because I did a lot of aimless wandering, or a lot of back and forth in that same area trying to figure out where I was going wrong, and then I decided to come back up here. And, yeah, I think the back of that indicated, that thing we read indicated that one of these was a fake goddess. And now we're in some weird magic birthing chamber. What? I mean, the theory, I guess, is kind of sound. Those were just all normal fights, even though it was set up as a set fight. You split one person into two and raise both of those people to be extremely powerful magicians, and then at some point you recombine them so that they'd be the most powerful magician. How they knew that hell was going to get unsealed and destroy Disneyland, I'll never know. But, yeah. But the way that guy explained it made no sense. Oh, the magician has to be so strong. I keep calling him a magician. The magic wielder has to be so strong that he can defeat even himself. Oh no, they are calling him a magician. Okay, well, that guy's a big exposition dump before he dies. If he's the most powerful magician, he should be able to save that guy's life by pulling in, this joke, I'm stuttering, it's taking too long. By the way, that indicated that I got fully healed and all of my stuff got re-upped, so I guess trying to conserve my power points until this point didn't really matter. By the way, we are in hell now. Hell, as it were, looks pretty good. I guess this is a magic user's version of hell that looks pretty and is filled with angels. Again, even when I go to save, the game recognizes it as hell. Okay. I guess maybe magic is kind of an affront to religion, kind of. God's supposed to be the one with all the power, and now there's people who fucking pulling quarters out behind ears and making people disappear behind curtains. Oh, I'm still betting on that whole tower thing, am I? I thought I'd given up on it by then. Oh, that's right. It took me a little bit longer because I tested it on one of the angels. That's what it was. Yeah, I guess we're, just still in hell. You know those old songs, Stairway to Hell, Highway to Heaven? It's late when I'm recording this, so I'm not gonna try to scream Highway to Heaven. Actually, I do have a funny story about Highway to Hell. Like, a good number of years ago, me and some friends tried to take a trip down to Vegas, because that's, a friend of mine was participating in the Evo Fighting Game Championships, and he wanted to get there, so we tried to get there through a road trip, and like about between 7 or 8 in the morning. We were driving down this long highway lined with trees on both sides. And we were listening to the radio. And the radio started playing Highway to Hell. We looked up into the sky. And since it was still kind of a morning sun, it's still kind of reddish-orangish. But the clouds seemed to have formed an evil, smiling face that seemed to be laughing at us. Because it turned out, yeah, that road trip was plagued with problems. There was, I forget the exact problem now, but there was a thing that was cracked in the... I don't want to try to say what it was for certain, because I just can't remember. But it was a thing that was cracked, and it made it so that when we were getting closer to Vegas, the car started dying over and over again. And we'd have to stop for like 10 minutes here or there, and then like go about 20 miles, and had to stop and wait for it to be able to go again. We thought the car was overheating. But it wasn't. And we made it about 90 miles outside of Vegas before we just had to give up on it. Luckily, the person who was driving the car had relatives that lived actually fairly close by. So the relatives came and swapped vehicles with us, and we went back home, and they eventually got the car fixed and then brought it back and swapped it back with the other vehicle. But yeah, Cloud was laughing at us as Highway to Hell played on the radio. It was a cursed trip from the start. We never had a chance and we didn't even know it. Still probably one of the funnest road trips I've ever been on, though. I mean, it sounds bad, but we had so much fun along the way. So yeah, at this point, we're not far from... Oh, this was actually a relatively major enemy. Yeah, this big ol' Dragon King with his odd-looking, dull-looking sword. Yeah, we're gonna show you this whole fight. This guy... I don't remember him being hard, but he had so much health. Like, we laid into him, and he just kept on going. I think after this fight, I had to use a strategy that I haven't shown too often, where I had to slowly switch out members of my team and fight with other characters so that the people in reserve would gain back their weapons points, life points, and JP, wherever that stands for in terms of like magic power. But yeah, this guy just did not want to die, despite my best attempts. I mean, I'm gonna spoil it right now. He does eventually die, but man, he sure didn't wanna. Just watch how I pour all this damage onto him. Oh yeah, he also had that dodge counter move. Honestly, I hate things like this, where there's like a secret boss that's a really strong secret boss that's like about 3-4 rooms outside of where the final boss is in games. That shit drives me crazy. Especially if it ends up being stronger than the boss itself, the main boss itself. Which only happened to me in one game. And that was Final Fantasy 2. And not like the Americanized Final Fantasy 4, but like the actual legit came after Final Fantasy 1, Final Fantasy 2. Dude, this guy's a dick. But yeah, I was playing Final Fantasy Origins on the PlayStation, which has Final Fantasy 1 and 2 on it. I beat 1 and I started going through 2. And 2 is a very mixed bag. It's not that great, but it's not necessarily the worst thing ever. It's just got a flawed system to it. But anyway, like, the two most bullshit bosses in the entire game that do something entirely different from the rest of anything you face in the rest of the game are right at the end. And that'd be the final boss, who has melee attacks that absorb absolute crap tons of health from people he hits, and also do crap tons of damage. So you basically have to get lucky to fight him. But there's a secret boss hiding in a treasure chest somewhere in his palace that does the same thing, except it's even stronger than the final boss. And mind you, the final boss's dungeon is actually 2 different dungeons that you have to go through. And in Final Fantasy II, even on the PlayStation version, you couldn't save unless you were outside and you could use a tent. So you had to go through 2 entire maze-like dungeons. And just somewhere towards the end of the second dungeon, there was a room with 1 treasure chest in it that just had this ungodly powerful secret boss who just fucking annihilated you without any mercy. And then you're like, there goes down. This is madness. Anyways, back to hell. A dragon sword. Technically more powerful than the Asura, but the Asura powers up a bunch of stats as well. Yeah, give our mech friend the dragon sword. He has plural slash, so, you know, no, we're not fighting that dude again. Okay, so we ended that guy. Okay, so here's where I find a teleporter that puts me back down at the bottom of this room. Where is it? There it is. I find out that if I'd used the other set of stairs in this room, it would have brought me up to where I could have used a teleporter and avoided all of the fights on this floor. Except for maybe like 1. Or no, pretty much all of them. Oh, gotta fight that guy. Ski up. And here's where the boss is, right up here. Am I hard saving? No, I'm just quick saving. Okay. No, I'm hard saving. Yeah, it's kind of at that point where it's like, I can go back down if I need to. I can get stronger if that's what it takes. By the way, the first time I fought this guy was the end of one recording session for the day. And it was just... he wiped me out, and I actually had to go and do a bunch of leveling up. I think this is what happened. I'm trying desperately to keep all of my people alive, and he's having none of it. Because he is a dick. Also remember that my blue only has 3 life points. And if he loses all 3 of those life points, it's game over. It doesn't even matter if everybody else is alive. Which means I pretty much cursed myself for taking that Asura sword for pretty much the last quarter of the story mode. And I died. And after a good amount of grinding, here we go again. So you ready for how this boss operates? So if I remember right, he doesn't take as much damage when he's in this form. What did I do? Well, I guess I cut that wrong. Well, my apologies. Oh no, that's right. I didn't pop a thing to restore my stats, or restore my points. That's what that was meant to illustrate. I was really low on weapons points and JP and stuff like that. Forgot I had a Sanctuary Stone, which is basically an item you get very, very sparing amounts of at all in like all of these playthroughs. That recovers all of your health, life points, everybody's weapon points, and JP. So yeah, about this guy. He is much... This form only does 1 attack a turn, and it's usually a bastard of an attack. He also takes less damage in this form. He's usually pretty good at attacking everybody. I'm going with an early defensive strategy. I don't think it really amounts to much in the end, but I tried it. That attack right there was the biggest problem, and you can see why right there. So I have one, yeah. See that move I just showed that was called Sacrifice? Yet another thing that makes me regret taking the Asura sword. Because what he does is he sacrifices one of his own life points to heal everybody else. Something I'd be able to do a lot more of if I didn't have only 3. So I can only use that twice, and I've got to be very careful about not letting him die. Okay, So this is his other form. He takes so much more damage from stuff while in this form. But he gets several attacks per turn in this form. But most of his attacks are either single-person attacks or just small area of effect attacks. So this is where you want to try to pile it on as much as possible. So I had fought him a few times by this point, and I was working on a strategy where I basically just hold out for as long as possible, and if I got down to 1 life point, I would go ham and overdrive and just spam Mega Wind Blasts at him. But the tricky thing is I had to wait for him to be in this form in order to do it. Because I wanted to get the most out of it. Gas Flame. That one really hurts, if I recall. Or not. I thought I remember. Maybe it was a different person I was playing as. But yeah, his attacks in this form are not nearly as devastating, and he takes a lot more damage. He just gets a lot more attacks per turn. I got meleeing on heals because she's good for it. Oh, it did a lot of damage to Engineer Car. Okay. The annoying thing is that Engineer Car was the one who had both repair pack, or a repair pack function for robots. And I think he's the one who had the items, too. So I think I just blew another sacrifice in order to get him back into the fight. Because I did not expect him to be taken out of all my characters. That's really unfortunate and kind of annoying. Yay! You attack the robots. Okay. See, now my real problem begins. Because now I gotta try to survive fighting this guy. So that I can overdrive the next time. Oh no, I just went for it right there. Yeah, you know what? That makes sense, because I don't think I was gonna wait. I don't think I was gonna fucking wait at all. Because I was tired of losing to this prick. And I knew I could do it. Fucking just all the Mega Wind Blasts. You know what I think my thinking was? Oh, that one did a lot. I know what I think my thinking was. And I was actually surprised that it started doing a lot of damage here. But yeah. After all I did to him in this little dragon form, I figured, God, he's probably pretty close to death. I just gotta put the nail in that coffin. I really wanted it to. I'm sitting here and I'm like, are you dead? Are you dead yet? Oh no, he had all the items, okay. Heal myself. Ow! Oh god. Honestly, this is pretty exciting for me again, even watching it, even knowing how it's supposed to go down. For a second there, I almost thought he got me. Yeah, heal somebody else. Yeah, Melee needs to heal herself. Can't heal anybody else if she goes down. Or she can't heal anybody else if she goes down. Start passing around some heals. See, at this part, I'm just like, why aren't you dead yet? And engineer car's down again. I was like, what, really? Back to that form again already? Yeah, I guess. I'm just like, no, engineer car, get up. Don't die. Whoa. I gotta watch how I move my hands around. Yeah, magic stone. Oh no, I guess we're still healing. Ah, come on, I don't think ion cannon's even that powerful. We've just gone for the dragon sword. Yeah. I'm actually surprised that didn't leave her in a dead state. Usually anything that steals a life point will also just straight up kill. Yeah, this is the point where I'm starting to get a bit desperate. Everybody's running low on their stuff, and this guy's still alive. And I'm just like, how? My robot's usefulness is all used up at this point. Oh, we threw a lucky coin at him. Oh, thank God he's going back into dragon mode. That makes him so much more manageable. Again, I know I win this one, but it's been a while, and I am on the edge of my seat. Because it's getting a little close. Well, at least that... Oh, I guess it can hurt us a little bit. Boy, he really hated loot that turn. No, he's back on his feet again. And Mei-Ling continues to be on fire. The robots no longer matter to me at this point. They're just slight bits of damage and cannon fodder. I think the boss knows this too. That's why he didn't direct any of his attacks to hurt the fucking robots last time. I guess that dragon sword is still good for a little bit of damage. So yeah, let's at least try to keep T260 alive. Oh, ha! Now you take ice damage too! This is the boss's derp round. Just dumb stuff. Like, true evidence that I have pretty much nothing left. Loot is the only one with enough WP left to actually... weapon points left to actually launch a strong attack. Everyone else is just either healing or just throwing whatever they've got at the wall. Oh, I freaked out here. For a second there, I thought my game fucking froze. I was so mad. And then I saw it fade to a sepia tone. It's faked me out again. Loot delivers a final impaling stab to the Lord of quote-unquote hell. If they really wanted to convince me that it was hell, they wouldn't have had it. They would have had the heaven thing drop away at some point, but it never really did. Except during the boss fight, but I wouldn't really count that as much. Where's my cursor? There it is. What's there? Alright, well, that's gonna be it for me. See you guys next time. 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 See you